2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
What's going on, YouTube? Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you had a good week. So today we are looking into the female narcissist, what a female narcissist is, and if I've got time, I'm gonna try to add a couple of quick clips in here to, so you can see what a narcissist looks like. And the reason I decided to do this video is because I've come across so many videos, especially on TikTok, of it's usually women, but in general, it seems to be a misused term. I hear, a lot of people say that their ex was a narcissist, and then they'll go through the details, and I'm like, it doesn't really sound like a narcissist. It just sounds like you were mad because you couldn't get a commitment from them. So I decided to do this just to kind of, help people to understand what it actually is, and because usually, from what I've learned now, before I really get into it, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I don't have a college degree, but I have done many hours of extensive research on this subject. And the reason I did so is because, and what I found out is that the majority of the time, people that are dealing with a narcissist don't actually know that that's what they're dealing with. They know that there's something wrong. They know because, when they're going through the arguments and narcissistic rage, they may not know. Again, they may not know that they're dealing with a narcissist, but they're sitting back and they're watching. They're like, something's not right here. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's just not right here. And usually, honestly, if you start feeling that way, get out then, because even if you don't know it's a narcissist, you know something ain't right, so get out. Alright, so, let's get into it. So I'm going to read, there's a couple of quick articles I'm going to try to go over real quick, and again, I'm going to try to add a couple of clips in here to show you what it looks like, it sounds like, if I have time. So, let's get to it. So I'm going to read it out loud in case you're not watching the screen. It says, the female narcissist is attractive, intelligent, very charming, and highly confident that she can take everything you own. These women lack what healthy women possess naturally: a conscience, character, empathy for others, etc. And the list really goes on and on and on. It says the female narcissist makes up for what she lacks by constructing a false sense of self. Then she projects that false self to others. So basically what that means is let's just say, you're just starting to talk to a woman, and, you go out on a date, and she doesn't have a job, and she doesn't have her own place, yet she's telling you that she's certified in this, and she's got a degree in this, and certified in that. So then you would have to sit back and be like, well, wait a minute, you've got all these certifications, all of these qualifications, why don't you have a job in your own place? So they'll say things like that. They'll say things that just don't add up. So anyway, it says, in her rigid world, she is queen, and the world revolves around her. Hell hath no fury like the rage you will encounter if you do not completely ignore your needs for hers. And that is a fact. That is a fact, because narcissistic rage, let me tell you, dude. Because the thing about narcissists is, like I said, they lack empathy, and they really do. They're not capable of understanding how you feel, so they're obviously not going to understand how their actions are making you feel. The only thing they care about is how they feel. and they're going to react to that feeling. Because narcissists view feelings as facts. So let's say you're dating a narcissist, and just say you've been together for at least a few months, and she starts accusing you of cheating, even though you've given her no reason to believe you were doing it. You go to work, you come straight home, you're texting her during work, keeping her updated on how you're doing and what you're doing and this and that. And yet, because she feels like it, if she feels like you're cheating on her, then to her, that's a fact. And she's going to argue with you on that. And but when it says, if you don't completely ignore your needs for hers, meaning, so let's say y'all are living together, and she's not working, she's not helping out with any of the bills, and she wants you to buy her something, whether it's an outfit, jewelry, or maybe take her on a vacation, or take her out to an expensive dinner date or whatever. And you look at her and you say, well, I can't do that. I have to pay rent this week, or I have to pay the light bill this week. Oh, well, she's going to be furious. And what you're going to hear is oh, well, a real man would do whatever he needs to do, or whatever he has to do to make his woman happy. If you start hearing things like that, guys, get out. All right? Because, that's clearly self-centered attitude right there, that she expects you to give up your bill money to take her on a dinner date or buy her something special. And when you don't do it, they're going to lash out really bad. Alright, so let's keep going. It says, you might think you're in love with her, but her ultimate goal is to destroy you emotionally. And it only says emotionally, but I'm just to clarify and add on to that based on what I've learned in my research. Is not only do they want to destroy you emotionally, but they also want to destroy you financially and psychologically as well. They want you, by the time they're done with you, they want to make sure you feel like crap, that you don't even have enough self-confidence in yourself to pursue another woman. They want to make sure you're so emotionally damaged that you wouldn't trust another woman even if you did meet one. And then again, financially, they want to leave you so broke that no other woman's going to want you anyway. So it says, like I said, it says they want to destroy you and leave your life in ruins. Because the end game is they're going to leave. Because narcissists, there's a cycle when it comes to narcissists. It's love bombing, devaluing, discard, and hoover. So they're going to love bomb the crap out of you. It's pretty much like the newlywed phase in a marriage. They're just going to come on strong, and everything you like, they're going to like. Everything you don't like, they're not going to like. And they're just going to, fill you with all these, empty promises, making you think that, this is something special and that y'all are going to have a bright future. And believe me when I tell you, like clockwork, that usually only lasts for anywhere between a month to 3 months, depending on the narcissist that you're dealing with. But it's usually not going to go past 3 months. Then that's the devaluing is going to start. When she realizes you're not perfect, she's going to start cutting you down. And it's going to be more and more and more and more and more as time goes on. And the longer you stay with her, the worse it's going to get. Then she's going to hit you with the discard. Usually what that means is while you're at work, she's at home on these dating sites, and she's trying to find somebody else to bounce to or to monkey branch to. And so when she discards you, it's because she's already got that lined up. She already knows she can move on to this guy. But she's not going to do that until her work with you is done. Until she has ruined you, then she's going to say, okay, now I'm done with you. Now I'm going to move on to this one. And then they'll leave the situation for a while. And the reason they want to leave you in ruins is for the hoover phase. So that if it doesn't work out with this other guy, or if they end up running this other guy dry and she needs another resource, she's usually going to go back to the exes first. And if she can't get it from them, then she's going to try to find new supply. So that's why she wants to leave you in ruins, to make sure that you're still available when she decides she wants to come back. So basically, she wants to put you up on a shelf and expect you to still be there when she wants to come play with you again. Alright, so continuing on, it says the narcissistic female craves attention. Most celebrities are narcissists, as are most reality TV stars. The female narcissist usually takes jobs that guarantee her a high level of attention, such as broadcast journalism, sports announcing, blogging, exotic dance clubs, publicist, streetwalker, and the adult film industry. And it says etc. here, but I'm sure you can add OnlyFans page to that list as well. So it says there are many warning signs and red flags that you are dealing with a female narcissist. Here are some that you have probably already experienced. And this is why that statement right there is why I say most of the time when you're dealing with someone like this, you don't actually know that's what you're dealing with. All you know is something's not right here. So the one thing is narcissistic rage, and let me tell you, it starts off by saying intense. It is absolutely intense. And so it says an intense, furious anger that seems to come out of nowhere. It is intended to startle and shock you into complying to what she wants. She can be furious one minute and smiling the next as if nothing happened. And that's very true. Like, so in my situation, the one I was dealing with, like, I was expected to pay the bills, then I had to do all the cooking, I had to do all the housework, I had to take care of the animals, and at the same time, I had to give her all of my attention. So I'm supposed to do all of this responsibility stuff and give her the maximum amount of attention too. And if I'm not willing to stop any of the household chores to give her that attention, that's what it's going to turn into. It's going to turn into narcissistic rage. And they really can. One minute they could be nice and smiling, and then the next minute they're just, it's like, whoa, what the hell just happened, dude? Like, calm down. We were just laughing 5 minutes ago. And that's where the gaslighting comes in. You say that, they're going to be like, no, we wasn't. You were making fun of me. You were laughing at me. That's where the gaslighting comes in. But let's go on with that. It says, consider psychological warfare. It is the narcissist's way of convincing you that you are the crazy one, not her. So, like, from what I've learned, is that comes from the movie Gaslight, or Gaslighting, whatever the title is. It's I think it's a 1963 movie or 1960s movie, where a guy would dim down the lights to mess with his wife. And then when she would walk in the room and she would be like, well, why is it so dark in here? He would mess with her by saying, well, what are you talking about? It's bright. The lights are bright. And I mean, if you hear that one time, you're thinking, ha ha, very funny. But if he's actually serious about that, and he's saying it over and over and over every day, every week, every month, every year, you know, for a long period of time, after a while, you're going to start thinking, well, am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Like, everybody else sees him as bright, and I see him as dim, you know what I mean? So, and I haven't actually watched the movie, but from what I heard, it actually ended up driving the woman crazy. Alright, so let's keep going. It says the narcissistic stare. Now, the interesting thing about that is, like I stated at the beginning, like I've done, like I really could not even estimate how many hours I've spent going over things like this. And this is the first time I've ever come across an article or even a video about it, talking about the narcissistic stare. But it says an intense stare with no feeling behind it. You've seen how cats stare at prey before they pounce. In the narcissist world, you are her prey. So it's kind of like, you know, like, think about like National Geographic when you see a lion approaching a gazelle. For one, they're going to get downwind so that you can't smell them. And then they're going to creep down as low as they can get in the tallest grass so they can get up to you as close as they can without being seen. A quick, subtle movement. And that's what lets them know, okay, it's time to pounce. So once you make that little move, they see that little, boom, they're going to pounce on you. And that's kind of what that comes down to. It's like they're watching you, like they have you in their sights. You are now the target. Alright, so let me pull up this other clip. This other article real quick, and we'll go over that real quick. And I'm gonna try to get to these videos. All right. So it says the covert narcissists pretend that they are incapable to do things on their own. This way, they can entrap the man to keep helping them out, providing for them, giving them support. At first, it may seem cute when the female is constantly relying on you to sort out her life. But soon, you will realize that your goodwill is being misused. And what that means is, like, if you get somebody who is constantly asking you for something, they're asking you for money, they're asking you for rides, they're asking you to pay for this and pay for that, and just always asking you to do something for them, even though that's their responsibility. Personally, for me, it wouldn't be cute to me. That would be kind of annoying, because then I would be like, well, now I see what you're in it for. But then again, I've learned. I've had to, go through this to know what I'm dealing with. So, and that kind of helped me set, more firm boundaries. And that's what you're going to have when dealing with someone like this. You're going to have very firm boundaries. Because narcissists will test every boundary that you have, just to see if you really uphold that boundary. So, like, if one of your boundaries is that, she can't talk to a bunch of guys, she's going to bring up some guys some point down the road just to see your reaction. And if you're okay with that, that's going to let her know you don't really hold that boundary that firm. Whereas if she brings it up and you're like, look, I told you can't do that, so you either drop that or get out. Then she knows you're serious. But it doesn't mean she's not going to keep testing you. She's always going to test you. Alright, so let's keep going real quick so I can try to get to these videos. It says, the narcissist I know has come up with various excuses why she isn't able to take on her own responsibilities. And they will. There's always a reason why they're not able to do it themselves. It says, I was there to help on countless occasions. Soon, all my help was thrown back into my face, and I was facing a smear campaign. And guys, if you're going through something like this, learn what a smear campaign is, alright? Because they're going to make up a whole bunch of bad stuff about you. When that starts, that's a good indication that she's already talking to somebody else. Because at the end of that, that's where the discard comes from. The smear campaign is what she uses to set up her justification for leaving for this other guy. That way she doesn't come out looking like the one who was cheating. She comes out being the victim, and you end up looking like the bad guy. But it says the narcissists don't take responsibility for their actions. They will come with absurd, tragic excuses just to keep you close and doing the dirty work for them. It says it's okay to ask for help once in a while. But when you notice that suddenly you are taking on the responsibilities, it says of another person, but really it should say of another adult, on a daily basis, beware. It says narcissists are, as Maxwell Jordan puts it, kidults. What that means is they never grow up. And as long as there is someone who will pick up their slack, they don't have to. And they really don't. You'll notice that arguing with a narcissist is a lot like arguing with a 12-year-old. Like, they just don't seem to understand anything you're trying to get across. And they don't want to understand. Because they're not in it for resolution or your point of view. They're not in it for that. They're in it for the argument. They're in it because they like controlling your emotions. They like knowing that they got you riled up. But like that says, I mean, they're like, when they're, it says, they're, look for other people to support them and help them out. And that's why they're going to monkey branch. Because if you as a man, if you start getting tired of her, mooching off of you, because me personally, I'm not going to be with a girl who's not going to work. If we get, I don't even want to get with you if you ain't got a job. And if you quit your job shortly after we get together, you better be finding another one, or this is not going to work. But in other cases, guys will deal with that for a lot longer. And there's always different circumstances surrounding that situation. But when they realize you're not going to take care of them anymore, that you're not going to support them anymore, they're going to start looking for other sources. They're already going to have some on backup anyway. And they're already going to be feeding the smear campaign to the backup. So that way, if you do decide to leave before they're ready, they got somebody they could jump to. And if you get to the point where you're no longer supplying for them at all, they can leave you and go with this other person who is going to give them that supply. So let's move on. I got one more quick article I want to go over, and then we're going to jump into a couple of small clips. Alright, here we go. It says, the narcissists I know always look for men to save them. They never rented a flat of their own. They never paid their own bills. They crashed into other people's lives. There are many female narcissists who want to marry into an easy life. They cause trouble, debts, and then they demand the man to save them. My narcissist used to call on my help always last minute, as if if she expected that I would drop everything I was doing and go and help her out. I did, until I realized that she had it all pre-planned. And they really do, is because, like I stated, like I said a minute ago, like they're gonna test you all the time just to see what they can get away with. And so the more you allow them to get away with, the more they're gonna test you, and the worse it's going to get. And that's oftentimes this was said, that she, asked for his help last minute. So like she said, I need some money, and you're like, well, I can't do it. This is Thursday, and I got to pay rent tomorrow. And they're like, well, you don't care about me, you don't love me, so you're gonna get hit with that narcissistic rage because you're trying to take care of your own responsibilities, and you're not willing to give up your responsibilities for her because she don't really care about you. It's all about her. Alright, so the narcissists create a sense of urgency and drama in order to entrap others. They exaggerate and lie just to get what they want when they want it. Remember, narcissists don't want to be saved. See, I actually been saying that. They want to control you, and they really do. They want to control your emotions. They want to control your mindset too, as well, because they want you trained like a dog. If you tell your dog come here, you expect your dog to come here. If you tell your dog to sit, you expect him to sit. You tell him to go lay down, you expect him to go lay down. That's the way a narcissist treats you, like a trained dog. Says they want to control you. By guilt trapping you and putting pressure on you, they wish to ensure that you will do what they want. And that's why you get hit with the narcissistic rage when you don't do what they want. Because narcissists are all about punishment. So anytime, and I mean any and every single time, they do not get what they want, like a spoiled child, they are going to throw a fit. And it is designed to make you be more submissive. Alright, so I'm going to jump into a couple of the quick videos to show you a female narcissist in the middle of a narcissistic rage because she didn't get what she wanted. So let me pull that up real quick. Alright, so this is part 2. It may be a little loud if you're using headsets. Just be aware of that. You might want to turn your volume down just a little bit, to see how loud it is, because I won't know until I actually edit the video. But I do know it gets kind of loud at times. So let's get to it.
You just said you were going to call the cops on me? I'm not getting in the car. You're going crazy. I'm not getting in the car with you. You're going crazy. Yes, you are.
Now, just real quick to touch on this. This is part 2. You can see right here, walking home 2. This is part 2. The first part is much of the same, but I chose this one for a couple of specific reasons. For one, is this one right here is that she can manipulate like no other, especially men. And in that, the previous, rewind it real quick. I'll show it to you. Where's that? There we go. Says, I have been conditioned to fear the police. And then the other part I was just showing you, it says because they can manipulate like no others, and they really, really can. I mean, I have seen it firsthand. If y'all see my videos, then especially the car seat video, y'all see how quick that stuff changes, and how quick those cops, just bought right into every bit of what she was saying. And that's the way they're able to do. They're able to flip the script and play victim very quick. And it's usually believed. If most of the time, the only thing that's going to save you is recording. That's why I record all the time. But anyway, let's keep going.
You're going crazy. I'm not getting in the car with you. You're going crazy. Yes, you are. You're going crazy. What did I do? I didn't do anything. Are you kidding me? No, you won't.
Look, now this is one of the main reasons I decided to do this second part, not the first part, because of that right there. Go back to the articles that I went over. It said, they are selfish. They are self-centered. They only do things for themselves. Okay, don't think they're not capable of thinking of how their actions are affecting anyone else. All they care about is what they want when they want it. So she wanted to chase this guy down the road, and she's not even thinking about how it's affecting a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. So there's a 10-year-old that's watching a 5-year-old while all of this is going on. So for the people that like to use that term, the maternal instincts, where's the maternal instincts in that one?
You'll take me home. You'll take me home.
Alright, this is another reason I picked this one. Alright, like I said, the first part is a lot of the same. And you notice, like, it goes back to the narcissistic rage. She kept going and going and going and going because she knew at some point he was going to break, and he did. That's why she was able to do what she did. Men, whether you're dealing with a narcissist or not, when it comes to relationships, period, your only real power in the relationship is the power to walk away. Know what is best for you and know when it's time to walk away. Know what you're going to deal with and what you're not going to deal with, because I would not have dealt with that. I would have walked all the way home. I wouldn't have cared if I was barefoot. I would have walked all the way home before I got in that car.
Will you take me home? No problems. Say it.
Get in the car.
Will you take me home? I asked you, will you take me home?
Get in the fucking car.
The other thing, and I'm not trying to bash these two, but I mean, this situation happens a lot, and oftentimes what people seem to overlook a lot is the fact that nobody is actually thinking about the kids, even though it was put up in the text. I mean, his concern was her taking him home. Like, his concern should have been like, look, you need to go back and be with them kids. There's nobody watching your kids. I can get home on my own, but you need to go back and be with them kids. And she didn't say, hurry up and get in the car. I got to get back to the kids. Nobody said anything about the kids.
Turn that shit off.
No. You're just hitting my...
While that is kind of true to an extent, their biggest fear is not recording of actual events, because they will record a lot of, the things that you see on their social media sites. They recorded that, and that's always going to be the highlights of their life. But what he's referring to is things like this. This is what they hate, is because the narcissist's real biggest fear is being exposed, because they tell so many lies to so many people to get those people to believe that they do not act like this. So while he's telling them, yes, she does, they're not believing it because she's telling them all these lies. So then when you record it so that you can show them, be like, look, I told you, now you see it. That's why they hate it, because they know now you can prove that everything they've been saying was a lie.
My phone out of my hand.
Okay, let's go to record everything because I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Take me home. Take me home.
That off.
Take me home. Okay, I'm walking. Then take me home. Take me home. I will as soon as you take me home. Why, you can't act normal? With this on? You can't act crazy with this on?
Turn it.
I will as soon as you take...
She knows exactly what she wants to do. That's why she wants him to turn it off. She knows she's gonna beat the crap out of that dude as soon as he turns that phone off. She's just gonna go to town, and then she's gonna flip her. If he decides to try to press charges, she's gonna flip it around and say that he was assaulting her and she was defending herself. That's why she doesn't want it to be recorded.
Take me home. I don't trust you right now.
Alright, so this clip here is the same couple. And this time you actually get to see what is going on, and you get to hear a little more of what a narcissist, an argument with a narcissist would sound like.
You are so crazy. I cannot believe you.
Goodbye, Jenny. Do not ever come back. Do not ever come back.
I don't want to.
Good. Do not ever come back. Do never talk to me. Do not call. Do not text.
Alright, just notice real quick. Alright, you know, you can hear he seems to be kind of out of breath, so it sounds like something just went on. And she's trying to and let me tell you something, narcissists are notorious for crocodile tears. Like, you know, one of the articles said they can be you know, mad one minute and then smiling the next as if nothing happened. And they can. It's to gain sympathy. It's so that they can play that victim card. And you usually never even see any tears. You just and that's pretty much all you get. But that will change very, very quickly. Just watch.
And I will be sending everything.
No, you're not.
Yes, I will.
Doing
You
it
watch.
from jail
I
cell.
will do everything.
You're doing it from jail.
Why, you haven't done anything wrong.
You really have bruises all over my
I
arm.
haven't done anything wrong.
Look, she said you're gonna do it from jail, and narcissists love to do that. They love to threaten you with jail time. Because they know they can manipulate people like nobody else. Like it said in that last clip, you know, they're master manipulators, and they really are. Dude, their ability to fool people that should know better is ridiculous, man. And I mean, I've seen it. Like, I'm sitting there scratching my head like, dude, I have shown y'all the videos, and you still don't believe it? Like, how naive can you be? But then she's like, oh, I got bruises all over my arms.
I haven't done anything wrong. Dakota saw everything. All I did was take me out of the house.
You just saw it.
If you call the cops...
I did not
Look at that!
see you.
Look at that! He's...
Alright. I'm going to rewind this. Actually, alright. Yeah, we'll just leave it right there. Alright. Couple things, like I said, like them crocodile, you heard them crocodile tears in the beginning. You're gonna be doing it from jail. I got bruises all over my arm. And then if somebody was really being attacked and they've actually got bruises all over their arm, they would be ready to get out of that house as quick as possible. But yet she came back in to lunge at him. And the other two parts of that, okay, is this guy's laughing about it and the guy that's holding the camera is laughing about it. And this girl's lunging at him. Meanwhile, there is a girl or a kid. I'm assuming it's a girl because it looks like a pink coat. But there's a kid wrapped around this woman's neck because she's holding on for dear life. And while she's lunging at him, she's not thinking about it. While she's lunging at him, he's not thinking about it. While he's recording it, he's not thinking about it. Nobody mentions the fact that look at what this is doing to the kid.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, get down! Record it!
You can hear me now too?
Yeah,
Well, now you're gonna go to jail. Now you're gonna go to jail. Will you come over?
Look, she said, you hit me. There's somebody who's like, alright, when you file an assault charge or a communicating threat charge, it usually means you were in fear for your life. Does it really look like this lady's in fear for her life? And I don't mean anything bad towards either one of these people, but the point is there are a lot of people out there, especially in a narcissistic or otherwise toxic relationship. This is what happens. And these right here, if you can see the cursor, these kids right here are the ones who are affected the most. And nobody even mentioned them.
Over and punch me. What did I do to you?
All I wanted to do was leave my house.
I mean, honestly, that should have never happened with that kid there. It really shouldn't, especially the way it went down and the fact that she was doing that while the kid was in her arms. It should have never happened. God almighty, look at the way she jumped at this dude. And this little kid is hanging on for dear life, man. And she hasn't stopped to say, look, you like, I'm leaving because you're going to make me drop the child or whatever. No. Like, and that's really, honestly, the way narcissists are. When this is going on, she understands that there's a kid in her arms, but she don't care about how any of this is affecting that child. Her only concern is how this situation affects her, how this situation made her feel. She don't care about this kid. She don't care about the two that was inside. She only cares about herself. And that's just the way narcissists are. And look, she keeps going back in. For somebody who claimed that she's got bruises all over her arms. And she keeps going back in. Why? I mean, if you were out, get out. I mean, if it was really a problem, if you were actually going to try to legitimize it, then, you know, at least get out of there. Don't go back in. That poor kid, look how tight she's wrapped around that mother. And I know that's a death grip, because when I play with my boy, I kind of hold him up by his legs and stuff, and he'll wrap his arms around my neck. Now, we're doing it in a playful manner. We're not aggressive or anything like that. But I do it because he likes it. He smiles a lot, he laughs, and he has a really fun time doing it. And so that's how I know, I can recognize, that's why I know this little kid is hanging on for dear life. Because when I do that, my son, like his arm, he will go from laying on my chest, and he will wrap his arms around my neck or my arm or something to hold on. You know what I mean? Just to make sure he doesn't fall. And that's what this kid is doing right here. And so I'm going to end it there. That's pretty much all of that clip. You see her kind of peel off real fast, even with the kid in the car. But this is what narcissistic rage looks like, and they will go back and forth. Like they can, like you heard the crocodile tears, and then she said, "Well, you're the one going to jail," and then she turned right around and she was lunging at him, like she claimed he assaulted her, but in the video she was clearly assaulting him. But I guarantee you, even though that video was there, she still told the law enforcement that he was the aggressor. And that's the way they always are. If you've seen my video, specifically the car seat video, if you watched it, then you know how that situation started. You know what got that situation going. And in that video, you can hear me take the bag out of the car, and you can hear me say, "Well, what I did is I put it on the ground." You couldn't see it in the camera because I didn't pull the camera up until she actually called the cops. But I just had the phone sitting in my seat. But I set the bag of formula down on the ground, and you heard me say when she said, "Well, I'm just gonna keep putting it in your car." You heard me say, "Well, I'm just gonna keep putting it on the ground," right? So later, after all of that happened, after I done went home, it was either later that day or a day or two later, she brought up the situation again. It might have even been after I posted the video that she brought it up. But she was like, well, yeah, I could get you for assault because I have witnesses that saw you throw the formula at me. And that's how narcissists will do. They will manipulate a situation that never happened and use the quote-unquote witnesses who will obviously lie for them to get them to jam you up on something you didn't even do. And that's how bad this situation is. And they're so good at manipulating people that's why guys are, most of the time they're dealing with that. That's why they fear the police. Me personally, I don't. Because like I said, I record everything. Every time I'm around her, everything's recorded. There are no phone calls accepted. Everything comes through text message. I have a record of every single thing that is said and every single thing that happens. I have a record of all of it. So that if something like that comes up, I can prove it. And that's what actually saved me on multiple false accusations. And I'm obviously, this is why this guy's recording, for the same reason, because this stuff happens. She's being aggressive towards him, and then she's made false allegations against him, which is why he feels the need to record. But then when he tries, and I believe the reason he posted it, I can't honestly say, I can't speak on his intentions, but just from my own perspective, from my own point of view, I know how hard it is to convince people that this is how she acts. So the only thing we have left to do is to show you. And if you're not going to come to our house and look at our phone, well, we have no other option. What are we going to do? Now we're going to put it on YouTube so everybody can see it. Because nobody's listening to us. Nobody believes us when we're trying to tell them that this is what's happening. So we have to show them. We have no other choice. That's our only protection. And y'all are not even, y'all are not even paying attention to that. And again, this little kid right here, and there's supposed to be a 10-year-old too. I don't even know where the 10-year-old is, which is sad. But these are the people that's affected by it, is the kids. That's a very toxic situation for a kid to be in. There was a question one time, and I'm going to end it on this note right here. There was a question one time on one of the videos that I actually saw. It says, are narcissists bad parents or dangerous to kids or something along that line? And the answer was yes, they absolutely are. And it's because of the fact that they are unable to understand how the child feels. They're unable to put the child before them. Because in the world of a narcissist, nothing comes before them. So we're going to end it there. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you thought about it. And, please share your stories, because, the only way we're going to bring attention to this is to get it out there. And the only way anybody's going to start taking it serious enough is if more people start sharing their stories and their situations. Because it's really, what I've seen is it's so hard for people in the authority system or the legal system to believe that people actually act like this. So it's up to us it's up to us to show them that yes, they do, even with all this other bad stuff in the world. It's up to us to show them yes, they do. And if you're not going to watch the videos we have on our phone, well, we're just going to put it up on YouTube so everybody can see it. You don't have to come to my house anymore to look at the video on my phone. You can go on YouTube and see it for yourself. So everybody, I hope you had a good week. I hope you have a good weekend. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.